Tell us, what normal financial habit secretly ruins people's lives? Paying only the minimum monthly balance on your credit card. I've got a buddy who honestly believes paying the full balance hurts your credit score. I've explained 100 times that it's the opposite, but he insists minimum only is better. Of course, he's always broke, his credit is dumpster tier, and he never stops whining that his balance keeps growing. Not having an emergency fund. And it doesn't even have to be a dramatic life or death emergency. My older brother once made this hilariously naive budget just to justify buying a fancy car. I was still in high school and told him, guess I shouldn't expect birthday or Christmas gifts from you anymore. I even suggested he live by that budget for at least a year before buying the car, but he couldn't wrap his head around the idea of not spending every penny that came in. Buy 3, save 25%. People fall for that fluff all the time and end up with 2 extra items they never needed. People who don't set up their own retirement plan if their job doesn't automatically provide one. The only way I got through to my friend was telling her, imagine being 70, working the same physically exhausting job. Not for fun, not for extra pocket change, but because you have to, just to survive. Don't hit her hard. Honestly, it scares me how many people don't plan for retirement. I can't imagine dragging myself to work at 70 plus just because my pension only covers a bunk in some sketchy shared apartment. People look at me funny when I say I pay $551 a month for my car, but I bought it August 22 and it'll be paid off this November. Big difference between I can make the payment and I can actually afford this thing. Eating out while groceries rot at home. Guilty as charged, and yes, it makes me broke. I even met a couple complaining about student loans while dining out twice a week and always getting drinks. Hundreds of dollars burned every month. No awareness at all. Not checking your bank account regularly. My dad always said, if you're scared to check the balance, that's exactly when you need to check it. Judging affordability by the monthly payment instead of total cost. A $500 car payment might sound fine until you calculate how much interest you're actually paying over the loan's lifetime. A buddy of mine buys a new pickup every 2 years. Every trade-in, he loses $15,000 to $20,000. He basically pays $20,000 every 2 years just for the privilege of driving something new. Thinking little expenses don't matter. $5 coffee, $10 subscription, repeat. Next thing you know, it's hundreds per month. We buy stuff we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't even like. I can't even count how much we've wasted on booze. Drinking money is like flushing it straight down the toilet. I grew up poor, sometimes no food in the house, but my stepdad chain smoked 3 packs a day and downed a case of premium beer. Insane waste. One of the most dangerous mistakes, getting married without talking finances. Marriage is a team sport. I know plenty of couples where one partner has no clue what's happening with the money. If one of you is reckless, both of you sink. I know folks who get their paycheck and instantly party like rock stars. Because, hey, there's money in the account, right? They blow hundreds on drinks the night they get paid. A week later, they're broke and asking me for bus fare to work. Like, dude, you just dropped $200 plus at the bar. Do you even math? The other day, I took my kid for a haircut, $40. Picked up some groceries, $30. Lunch with a friend, $30. By evening, I'd spent $100 without even realizing it. These tiny transactions pile up fast. One of the biggest issues is inconsistency with saving and spending. My wife and I are guilty too. Last week we didn't have time for grocery shopping, dinners were planned, lunches weren't. Boom, $60 to $70 each just on lunches for the week. Absolute clown move. People underestimate maintenance costs, especially on big ticket items like cars and houses. A lot of folks think budgeting means just save, then spend. But a real budget includes the long-term cost after the purchase. The more expensive the item, the higher the upkeep. Repairs, insurance, even simple stuff like size. And if it's premium, guess what? The repairs and parts come with premium price tags too. That's why so many people get trapped after buying a house. They stretch themselves thin just to get the keys, then 6 months later the roof leaks, the water heater dies, or the dishwasher breaks. And guess what? Their budget has no line for those costs. Homes always need repairs, and repairs always need money. Planning to save whatever's left at the end of the month, but every single month the result is exactly zero. The best financial move I ever made was to start paying myself first, sending part of my paycheck straight into a savings account at another bank. Not planning for irregular expenses? Sure, you can't predict the exact month your car will demand a $500 repair, but come on, if it's 10 years old, you know it's coming. Same with Christmas. It's literally on the same date every year, yet people act like it's a surprise and raid their emergency fund. Seriously? Taking out longer loans just to shrink the monthly payments. Maybe not life-destroying, but I've seen people get buried in car loan swamp because of it. Payday loans. A friend of mine makes $120K a year and still borrows $75 from me. I make $45K. Why? Because you got hooked on payday loans 20 years ago and never fixed your financial habits. Let's be real. If you make $120K and borrow from someone making 3 times less, the issue isn't your ancient microloan, it's your refusal to make sane money choices. Not investing at all. People think a few thousand in a savings account is great, great, but inflation is quietly eating it alive. Sports betting is a huge problem now. Gambling in general has become trendy, especially among younger folks. Honestly, it's terrifying. It feels like so many people have internalized the idea that luck is the only way to make it. Why work 9 to 5 for pennies when you can throw some cash at spicy unicorn bets and hope for the best? In my view, this isn't just a youth weakness. It's a deeper social issue that corporations happily exploit. Both millennials and Zoomers know the system is rigged against them, so they take bigger risks, crypto, gambling, whatever, just to try and break free. And once you're in, it's addictive. No wonder it's so popular. Ordering $40 worth of takeout just because you're too fluffing lazy to cook the $12 worth of groceries you already bought. Bon appetit, shame on you, deluxe edition. Amid all these high and mighty comments, I liked this one, because reading here, you'd think everyone has infinite income, no debt, and 100K just chilling in savings. Real life, way different. My 2 rescue dogs cost me more every month than a Mercedes. Not a bad choice. I work with animals and love them, but reality check, food, meds, vet visits equals $250 minimum monthly plus surprise vet bills of $1,200 plus. Pets are budget wreckers if you're not prepared. Keeping 100K in a savings account at 0.2% instead of moving it to a high yield account at 4%, that's the difference between $200 and $4,000 a year. That's literally someone's utility bills for a year. Mr. Banker, how big a mortgage can I get? They max out the loan, buy a house at the limit, and then 2 months later realize they can't afford furniture, kids' activities, or car repairs. Same with cars, same with lifestyle creep. And then they ask to roll all their debts into a 30-year mortgage. Translation, bankruptcy countdown in 3, 2, 1. Not knowing the difference between I can pay for it and I can afford it. Sorry, but I really want to understand this. I can pay for it means technically you have the money, but it's more than you should be spending. I can afford it means it fits comfortably into your budget and savings plan without creating future problems. It's the classic keeping up with the neighbors trap. That race empties your wallet real quick. Buying a new car every few years and rolling old debt into the new loan. I know a couple who've done this repeatedly. Their debt is now a monster. I help friends and coworkers with budgeting. The number one issue I see, people don't track every single dollar. Lunch at Wendy's, takeout here and there, 3 to 7 times a week. That's $100 to $200 gone. Add subscriptions and random Amazon orders, and suddenly you're at a whole grand per month you never planned for. Everyone I've worked with had at least 600 plus mystery spending every month, and none of them knew where the fluff the money went. Storage units. Not exactly life-destroying, but still tossing money into the wind. Okay for a short move or transition, but long-term, if you're not even using the stuff in there, why pay to keep it? Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below. What's a normal financial habit that secretly wrecks people's lives? And don't forget to check out our other vids. See you next time.